Good evening, Tampines. And I proudly stand before you as a candidate for Tampines GRC under the Workers' Party. I know that this is the first Tampines rally for the Workers' Party, but how many of you, is this your first rally that you've ever attended for the Workers' Party? How many of you are Lao Jiaos and have been here for a long time? I ask because standing amongst you today in this electric atmosphere, I think about the first time I attended my Workers' Party rally in 2006, some 20 years ago. I was a JC student, not TJC. I changed out of my school uniforms to come to Serangoon Stadium. Took the long journey from the west to Serangoon Stadium. And I remember that at that time, in 2006, I had the impression that Singapore was A-OK. That, other than a few troublemakers that we read about sometimes in the papers, Singaporeans were generally happy with how things were. But that night, arriving at Serangoon Stadium, being amongst the many of you who loudly proclaimed your desire for a different, my mind was changed. My mind was awoken, and I wanted to learn more about what was going on in my country. How many of you guys were there in 2006? Some. But if not for you, if you did not show up that day and if you did not embrace me the way you did in 2006, I will not be here today. And so in many ways, I have all of you to thank for my journey to this stage. So thank you. And to the many students who changed out their school uniforms and came to this stadium today, I hope to see many of you on stage here in a couple of years. Now, over the past 15 years, I've seen how the Workers' Party has made a difference. Not through catchy slogans or fancy showmanship, but through real work on real issues. The party has never accepted the false choices that were put forward by the PAP. The PAP once said that we could not support single mothers or it would undermine the family unit. We said we can do better, right? They once said that low-wage workers must stand on their own 2 feet, otherwise they would develop a handout mindset. We said we can do better, right? They once said that political diversity would threaten political stability. But I know, and you know, that we can build a system that is diverse without breaking it. For a small party, we dared to dream big. We rejected these false choices, these false dichotomies. We dragged issues that used to sit on the margins and brought them into the political mainstream. That is why today, we don't ask if retrenched workers need support. We ask what kind of support they should get. That's why we don't ask today if minimum wage protections are needed for our workers. We ask how broad they should be. And that's why we don't ask today why single parent families are treated so differently. We simply have to ask for why they can't be treated fully. And you know, even the PAP is beginning to acknowledge this. Because just last week, they admitted that the government does not have a monopoly on good ideas, that no one does. But then if so, why should they have a monopoly in Parliament? And that's why I stepped forward. It's because I believe in this work and I want to keep building on it. I want a political system where issues can be raised early, openly, and constructively. One that has compassion and where Singaporeans see themselves reflected in it. Not one where data is withheld from us, or where we are gaslit all the time by what we are seeing. We don't want to be told that the sky is white when we see it is blue. We don't want to be told that raising GST in the middle of record high inflation is good policy when we know it could have been postponed. We don't want to be told that CDC vouchers will make it all okay when we know it is just a band-aid for a gaping wound. We don't want to be told that hawker rental rates do not affect the food prices when we know that doesn't make any sense. We don't want to be told that after $500 million was spent, the best that Singapore can produce when it comes to the ERP is a clunky 3-unit system. I think we're the only country in the world where technology gets bigger, not smaller. And we certainly don't want to be told that if we have more opposition in Parliament, the PAP will have to spend all their time fixing us rather than serving the Singapore people. In my mind, answering the opposition is serving the Singapore people. I want to take a moment to talk to the Tampines residents, who hopefully many of you are gathered here today. You know, I spent the last year talking to many of you, and I'll tell you, the most common thing I hear is why you take so long to come here. So Tampines, we are here. 工人党来了。So come May the 3rd, you will all have a chance to make your voices heard. You will all have a chance to build a better Singapore, a more inclusive Singapore, one where your voices are given equal weight in the policy-making process. So I ask you, will you vote for the Workers' Party? I ask you, will you tell your friends and family to vote for the Workers' Party? Because we can only win if we do this together. If you get your friends together, your family together, people you kind of know who live in Tampines together, and get everybody to vote for the Workers' Party. Tampines, Thank you so much for welcoming us. Vote the Workers' Party.